Welcome back to another episode of NA Now. Brandon Hofstra here, joined with Justin Hale, head coach of the Philadelphia Rebels. Justin, first off, I want to thank you for taking some time. As you were saying, you guys are in the middle of two-a-days, but how's the summer been overall?
Been busy. We obviously had the great event down at the draft in Nashville, and then we've had our camps this summer with our team, and so yeah, we've been staying busy, staying in the hockey rinks.
Right on, staying out of a little trouble as well. Obviously, you just finished up your first year as a head coach in the North American Hockey League. What's the biggest lesson you've learned?
I just think it's being comfortable in my own skin. I've been fortunate enough in my journey so far to learn from a lot of great people and be a part of some successful organizations. And so just getting really comfortable with kind of being the face and the message is being conveyed the way I want it to be conveyed. And yeah, just that it kind of ends with me and starts with me. So it was a lot of fun and it was a lot of learning along the way.
Yeah, let's talk about last year. Obviously, like I just stated, it was your first season. You stated you learned a lot, but unfortunately missed out on the playoffs. But you guys had a great number of NCAA commitments to different programs. When you look back at last season, how do you feel about it overall?
We took our growing pains, took our lumps early. We, I think, for a long stretch to start the year, we're one of the youngest teams in the league, and so I thought we had to work through what it took to be successful night in, night out at the junior level. A lot of these players were the best player on their team coming out of U18 or prep,
Right.
and understanding that now they're going against everybody else that was the exact same. And
Yeah.
so it's a different level of commitment. It's a different level of detail and compete, and the ability to replicate that night in and night out. So I thought we learned that early on, and around Thanksgiving and Christmas, once they kind of get their bearings, we started playing winning hockey.
A lot of bigger fish in a bigger pond, if you will, right?
Absolutely.
Let's talk about some of the holes that were needed to be filled over this offseason, tenders, draft, et cetera, et cetera. What were you guys looking to fill?
Well, we were fortunate being a younger team to advance players on to higher levels, as you mentioned. Our biggest hole was probably goaltending. We move on Jakub Krevicek, who was a USHL draft pick and a Division One commitment. So he's playing up in the USHL. So to me, it starts with defense. You got to have a good netminder to kind of be that last line of defense. So that's a tough one to fill. And after that, we had players like David Deputy, who again was a USHL draft pick. So we'll have to replace some scoring based on, he was our top scorer and a couple of our age outs that committed Division three. And, can never have too many good defensemen along the way too. So.
Speaking of some of those players, you said you had a younger squad. A lot of guys will be returning. Who are some of the key guys that you're looking forward to kind of fill in and take a leadership role this upcoming season?
Well, I not to give you a non-answer, but I think there's too many to name.
Okay.
Guys like Max Hamstead, who's been a part of the Rebels, family here, going on his third year. He should be a big guy for us production wise. But there's countless others. Tyler Stern as a rookie stepped in and had, I believe, around 25 points in his first year. He's coming back as a 2004 birth year and looking to take a big step. But again, there's a lot of other quality players that are going to step in and hopefully make a big impact for us up front. And on the back end, we have, again, another multi-year Rebel in Luke DeVries, was our captain last year. He took a big step in his journey last year, and again, another step for him this upcoming year. And I think we have, good younger players through our draft and tender process as well that are going to step in and play big roles and be good players to hopefully develop and move up, to higher levels as well.
100%. Justin, the East continues to expand. Two more teams added, which makes it a little bit harder or a lot harder to get now to the Robertson Cup. What's it going to take for you and your guys, your club, to make this postseason push? That's obviously, like I said, going to be a little bit harder.
Yeah, with 9 teams, we're going to have to fight tooth and nail every single night, just like any other division. the competition is great. So we're going to have to show up and play. But the big message with our group is with so many returners coming back, having reasonable expectations that we are making improvements daily, that we are sticking to the process of continually trying to develop every single day, so that we're better individually, but better collectively as a whole. But it's reasonable to expect that if we weren't in the playoffs last year and we're around 500, that we should be above 500, that we should be making playoffs, that we should be more and more competitive and pushing the envelope, to be one of the better teams in our division.
Justin, the NAHL Showcase, aka the greatest show on ice, just a few weeks away. As a young coach, how awesome is it to see all these schools and every pro team and probably a lot of familiar faces underneath one roof?
Well, it's similar to a lot of the other coaches that you've had on here prior. I think it's awesome that you get just about every Division 1 program coming to watch. You get every Division 3 program. You have NHL scouts in the building. So the opportunity that our players have to, perform and play in front of so many people that kind of control their destiny, or their next step in their path. They get to play in front of those people for 4 days in Blaine. So it's awesome that they get to do that. And as you mentioned, it's cool to, run into some old friends and colleagues that you've worked with along the way, and familiar faces.
Well, we can't wait for it. A few weeks away, like I said, and looking forward to big things from you guys and the Rebels this year. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Very excited as well. Thanks for all you guys do.